Turn it up a little bit. Nobody can hear me. Well, welcome. Can you hear me now? I can hear me. We're going to do some furry tales. Now, furry tales are fairy tales with a slight Garfield twist. Now, I was talking to Garfield a little while ago, and he said that we have a special guest here today. We got a special guest named Mother Goose, and she's going to be coming out in just a minute. But what I want to tell you is that we're going to be doing some crazy things here today. And we're going to be going to our magic prop box, getting out some disguises and some costumes, and those are going to help us tell the stories. And then later we're going to need you to help us tell the stories. But now, let's take a look at our special guest, Mother Goose. Mother Goose, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. How are you doing, Mother Goose? How was it back in Storyland? Oh, Mother Goose! How are you doing, Garfield? Garfield, did you have a little something to eat before the show? No? Garfield? Oh, I get it. Garfield didn't have a little something to eat. He had a lot of something to eat. Well, Garfield, all these kids, moms and dads, they're all ready for some furry tales. How about you? You ready? Good. Well, why don't you go to the magic trunk and get us our first costume for today. Well, that costume that Garfield kind of slipped out of, that was kind of funny, wasn't it? Well, rest assured, the rest of the costumes for the show today are going to be a little bit more upscale, a little dignified. So much for dignity. Can anyone tell us what our first story is going to be today? What is it? That's right, Little Red Riding Hood. Now, once upon a time, there was a beautiful young girl. A beautiful young girl. And she had a grandmother that loved her so much that she made a beautiful, and I'm talking beautiful, red cloak. Made a red cloak for her, and from that day on, she was known as Little Red Riding Hood. Now, her grandmother loved her so much that she was very concerned for Little Red. And she always gave her explicit instructions that if she was walking through the woods, that way was the way to the deep, dark forest. And that way was the way to the never-ending swamp. And that way over there, Garfield, I thought we said no tickling. And that way over there, Garfield, we made an agreement, no tickling. You want me to come? No tickling. And that way over there was the way to Granny's house. Now one day, Little Red Riding Hood was taking a walk through the forest. And she was tired. She needed to take a rest. So she came to the center of the forest, and that's where she met the big, bad kitty.
Who's never seen walking in these woods? Why, it's Little Red Riding Hood. Hey, Little Red Riding Hood, you sure are looking good. You're everything big bad wolf would want. Little away. What full lips you have, they sure look someone bad. So until you get to Grandma's place, I think you ought to walk with me and be safe.
Oh, I'm so dizzy. I'm all turned around. Which way is it to Granny's house? Is it that way? Is it that way? Is it that way? I don't remember. That's right. The big bad kid he knew was that way to Granny's house. So he took a shortcut to Granny's house through the strawberry patch. You know, a strawberry shortcut. Sorry. So when he got to Granny's house, he got there far before Little Red Riding Hood. He entertained Granny with some song, some dance. He did some card tricks. And he helped Granny with her hair.
Right here, Sonny, right in the back there. I'm gonna get in the back.
And Granny paid him back by making him a big pan of lasagna, which they shared. And by the time Little Red got there, they were busy doing the dishes.
Scrub 'em, baby! Scrub 'em! Get that lasagna sauce off of there.
So that just goes to show that you never, ever mess with Grandma. Thanks! Let's hear it for Garfield! Garfield! Well, Garfield, that was a lot of fun, but I'm not exactly sure that that's the way that story goes. Is that the way that story goes? I get it. Any story that has Garfield eating a big pan of lasagna, that's a story with a happy ending. Well, Garfield, let's do another story. That was a lot of fun. Why don't we go over to the magic trunk and take a look at what else we can be? Because, you know, there's just so many things. So many things to choose from. There's so many things to be. I could be handsome and brave, a king or a slave. It's all up to me. Now let us see. What should we be? What should we be? I could be a scary vampire and change myself into a bat. Or you could put on some black pajamas and hop around like a fat Halloween cat. What should we be? There's so many things to be. I could be an astronaut, robot, a king or a clown, or an alien creature going out on the town. It's all up to me. What should we be? What should we be? Come on, Garfield, let's go over to the magic trunk, see what we can be. How about this? No? I'm a Packer fan. How about this one?
Oh, baby, please, baby, please.
Okay, how about something ugly and scary? Oh, I get it. I'm ugly and scary. What should we be? There's so many things to be. I could be an astronaut, robot, a king or a clown, or an alien creature going out of the town. What should we be? It's all up to me. What should we be? Let's hear it for Garfield. Garfield. Well, that was a lot of fun, but we still don't know what to do for our next story. How about Jack and the Beanstalk? Jack and the Beanstalk? Too much climbing. Garfield doesn't like to. How about Hansel and Gretel? Hansel and Gretel. There's eating in that one. No? No. What? You got an idea? Garfield has an idea. Oh, Garfield Furry Tales. That's a good idea. Garfield wrote a book called Garfield Furry Tales. Right here. He wrote it for his friend Pookie. See Pookie? Little teddy bear, that's Garfield's teddy bear. His best friend. Well, Garfield, let's take a look at this. Garfield, I don't quite understand this book. Oh, I get it. This book needs a little help, so we need a little help from you. It needs a lot of help. Okay, this is the part of the show where we need you to make some sound effects for us to tell the story. Now what we're going to do is we're going to tell the story, and then we're going to pause. We're going to pause. We're going to take a short break. We're not going to pause. A short stoppage, a pause. And we're going to point to you, and we're going to ask you to make a sound effect. Now, Garfield, I think we better try one, because I'm not sure they know what we're talking about. Okay, we're going to point. We need you to make the sound effect. Okay. Suddenly, a storm blew in. I know it doesn't rain much in Southern California, but we need more than that. We need a storm. We need thunder. We need lightning. We need waves crashing. We need a little imagination. So everybody, adults too, we need some sound effects. Let's try this one again. Suddenly, a storm blew in. That was pretty good. But I think some of you still aren't playing. We need everybody. Let's try one more for him, Garfield. And then, there was an explosion. Okay, that's explosive. That's explosive. Well, let's start the story. Now, once upon a time, there was a tiny village. In this tiny village, everyone was sad. But they had good reason to be sad. It seems that an evil sorcerer had stolen the king and queen's baby and put a curse on the entire village. Now what this village needed was a brave hero to come along, find the baby, break the curse, not the baby, and return the village to its happy state. Well, one day, a brave and handsome stranger came to town. I get it. One day, this brave, handsome stranger came to town. And he came with a magic sword. Some hero. He descended from a mountaintop upon the tiny village. And he noticed some things. He noticed a dense fog covering the village. He noticed alongside the road a field of cows. On the other side of the road, he noticed a field of camels. Okay, on the other side of the road, he noticed a field of sheep. That wasn't so bad. Okay, and he kept walking towards the village, and he noticed an old abandoned mill, right down over there, sort of near Granny's house. And outside the mill was a pond of ducks. Well, he finally got to the village, and that's where he ran into the court jester. Hey! What do we got here? Oh, a hero, huh? Well, I hope you're better than the last few heroes we've had around here. You notice trying to tell a joke around here, huh? The jester was impressed by the magic sword.
Hey, I'm impressed. Now you should use that magic sword. You should go down to the old abandoned mill, because that's where you find the map to find where the king and queen's baby is. But be careful. No one's ever come back from there alive.
So our brave hero went to the old abandoned mill. Remember it was that way. So our brave hero went down to the old abandoned mill, and he went past the pond of ducks. You remember the ducks, right? And he entered the mill, and he passed a ferocious guard dog which barked at him. And he climbed up a flight of stairs. And he climbed up another flight of stairs. Keep climbing. And he entered a dusty room through a creaking door. And inside the dusty room, our brave hero sneezed. And in the center of the room, he found the map. And he went to the map, and he passed his magic sword over the map. Like all good heroes, he passed the magic sword over the map. He picked it up. He ran back down the flight of stairs. He ran back down the other flight of stairs. And he came back and met up with the jester. Watch it. Our jester doesn't have very good lungs.
Well, you know what this map says? It's a map of Sorcerer's Island. You've got quite a voyage ahead of you. We got quite a voyage ahead of us. But we can't go like this. They'd recognize us for sure.
So our friends set sail for Sorcerer's Island, disguised as pirates. So they set sail for Sorcerer's Island. They jumped aboard the first ship, and they swayed back and forth, back and forth, back. And suddenly a storm blew in, and they landed on Sorcerer's Island with a crash. So our brave hero did go up into the castle, and he followed a strange whistling noise. He climbed a circular flight of stairs, and he found himself in the secret, innermost chamber of the most evil sorcerer. Hey man, like who's coming up into the secret innermost chamber of the most evil sorcerer? A hero? The only thing that scares the evil sorcerer is a magic sword. A magic sword. And with that, the evil sorcerer exploded. Brave hero, I just had a haircut the other day. So, our brave hero found the baby. He ran back down the circular flight of stairs. He met up with the jester on the beach. And they jumped aboard the first ship. They set sail. Well, you remember that part. And they found themselves back at the tiny village. You remember the tiny village where once everyone was sad? Well, now everybody's happy! Yay! And their brave hero returned the baby to the king, who was very happy to see the baby back.
Oh, I'm very happy to have the baby back. Thank you, brave hero.
And he proclaimed this day a day for celebration.
I proclaim this day a day of celebration.
Oh, it's Odie! We got Odie! Odie! Say hello to Odie! Garfield, say hello to Odie! Good old Odie! Odie! So, our king not only was he happy, but he knighted Garfield. Garfield became Sir Garfield, and all the villagers clapped and applauded wildly. And Garfield joined in the festive peasant dance. Okay, Garfield, that's enough peasant dancing. Well, thank you very much. This is the Garfield Fairy Tales. We have some more shows today, so come on back. We've got a fashion show here right on the stage at 1 o'clock, followed by a fairy tale show. And right now, each and every one of you kids gets a free Garfield prize. So what we want to do is we want to start a line, and we're going to start the line right behind this young lady. What's your name? Rachel. Rachel, why don't you come with me? We're going to start the line. And we want everyone slowly and surely, everyone's going to get a prize. So just stand right here.